Hello. Don't know if I'm live yet or not. This is my second YouTube live. And there we go. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is silence my video here. Cool. Okay. So I have not announced this to the world. I was just sitting at my desk. Well, I was starting to clean it to work on this project that is due this week. And as it goes, I decided to do something with a piece of trash. And all you creative people, you may relate to me. So this is a box of Liquitex soft body acrylics, and I still have the paints, but I pulled them out the other day and I realized that because they're tucked away in a box, I never use them. And you know, your art supplies will go bad if you don't use them. So I'm taking them out of the box, was about to throw it away, and I thought, oh, that's a cool window. It could be a cool frame. I don't know. So I'm just fooling around here, making art, and thought I would just do a YouTube live while I do it. So I'm going to switch my camera to my desktop, and you can see my very messy desktop that I didn't end up cleaning. Maybe. There we go. Okay. So I think that making art is just a lovely way to spend a Sunday afternoon. And I have zero plan. I'm just playing around. I guess I do have some sort of a plan. I want this to be the front of the piece. So I'm just going to start collaging some tissue paper on the back. And of course I have an overhead fan going, which is not the smartest thing I've ever done, but that's the way it is. So I'm going to use some, oh, pulled the wrong bottle. Excuse me. I'm going to use some gloss medium because I'm out of matte medium. And what I poured in there, just a tiny bit, is gloss varnish. I don't think it's going to hurt it to mix it in. Yeah, we'll see what happens. This is all just an experiment. And that's a bit thick, so I'm going to thin it with just a little bit of water. I'm actually wondering if I should just wet this whole thing down first. So if you're ever afraid to try things, especially in art, just do it. Learn by doing. Unless it's oil paints, then get help. All right, so I do not know. I do not know. I'll put this next piece down without getting the whole thing wet and see how that works. Although I should have, okay. Hey, it says I have one person watching. Hello, one person, whoever you are. Feel free to say hello and chat. Ew. I don't like those two colors. Let's see what happens. Worst case scenario, I hate it and throw it away. And this is what happens when you don't clean your desk. You don't know where anything is, and everything is a mess, and you don't know where your pink tissue paper is. Oh, there we go. I can just paste it on after. Okay. Okay, so you can't see it on the camera, but when I hold it up to the light, it looks really good. I wish the camera would show it. I need a light behind me. That doesn't work. Yeah, that kind of works. Maybe the light's too close. Whatever the case, I'm loving how it's looking. And even though it's not that impressive on the camera, that's the way it works. Sometimes the camera makes things look better, and sometimes it makes them look worse. So this is why it's good to look at your artwork, to take pictures of it as you go, or to look at it through the camera, or to look at it even in a mirror. Seeing it backwards can help. Oh yeah, it's really cool. So I've got no rhyme or reason as I go. I just want to overlap them. And I really do want them to be stretched taut across the opening here, but I don't know if maybe it'll tighten up as it dries, because I got those first ones really tight. And I'm not happy that I got a straight edge there. I wasn't thinking. So what I'm going to do there is get the tissue paper wet with some water and just tear it to get a rough edge. And hello, viewers. Welcome. Say hello if you feel so inclined. Feel free to chat. There's only 2 of you out there watching right now, so I'm happy to chat if you have questions, comments, if you're friendly. If you're not, you can keep going. Ooh, turquoise. Ish. It's really quite pretty. Ooh. That blue is too short. Crumb bum. If I would have been thinking ahead and planning, I guess I could have made this into some sort of a pride project and make it a little more rainbow. I mean, it's got all the color, well, some of the colors, but it's not in a rainbow formation, if you will. All right. Yeah, I really need bigger pieces. For some reason these days, I really like pink and orange together, and I have no idea why. I used to think it was a hideous combination. But I'm all about it right now. No, I don't want to do anything. Maybe. Oh yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, and it looks better even with the light shining through it. Okay, so, whoops, put that on there. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry. And while that's drying, I'm going to think about what to do. So if anybody's got suggestions about what to do with this, like I said, I want this side to be the front of it. And you know, something that can be set on a shelf or something in front of a window so the light shines through. But what should I do? I mean, I can paint the back and sides a solid color to hide the Liquitex. I could do something with the border around the, I'm gonna call it stained glass, the tissue paper. Um, I need some ideas. Help me out here, folks. Help me out. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break. So if you're still watching when I get back, fabulous. And if you've moved on, no worries. I'll be back in just a few minutes. Actually, I'm trying to figure out. Alrighty, Aphrodite. Aphrodites, I'm back. No suggestions on what to do here. All right. I'll have to figure it out myself. I think I'm going to paint the inside. Let's see what happens. I'm feeling like a lime green for some reason. I almost never feel like a lime green. Whoops. Things are falling. That might be a bit too bright, so I'm going to mix it with some white. Oop, pardon me. Paint noises, always fun. I have no idea. Worst case scenario, I hate it and I can paint over it with something else. So what do you think? Love it, hate it, neutral. Is it the worst color I could have picked? Maybe. But it's the color I am feeling, so that's what I'm doing. Because this is my art, I can do whatever I want with it. Don't worry about those rules or whatever anybody else thinks. If your heart wants some lime green it is. Or this is actually fluorescent green with some white. And watch your drinking water. Put it far from your paint water. Ooh, it's kind of fresh. I think I might like it. So if you ever are painting straight edges, especially if you have corners, even if the corners are on a flat surface like a canvas or paper, I gotta tell you, I love the angled brush for this. It's gopped up with paint right now, but man, it really just makes everything so much easier when you have the right brush. The angled brush is perfect for what I'm doing. Just like if you're painting walls, I guess the hardware store sells those angled corner brushes. Same thing. Gosh, lately my hands have been falling asleep or getting tingly. I don't know what's up with that. Oh, I think I got some medium there, some of the gloss medium, and so the paint is going on differently right there. Oh, look, scrapes right off. All right. That's something to think about when you're using mediums. And I kind of like the effect, so I get really sloppy when I'm doing collage and slopping my medium everywhere because I kind of like the effect it gives when I go over it with something else, like paint or oil pastels or charcoal or whatever. I like the irregular effects it makes. I don't like things too crisp. I like them a little messy. Whoop, whoop, whoop. As you can tell from my desk. And I just dropped my brush. Luckily, it landed on the canvas on my table, and that's exactly why I have the canvas there. Well, one reason. Another reason is I can really just literally wipe my brush off on the canvas. I'm trying to keep this one a little bit more clean just for videos, but it is really handy to be able to wipe your brush off on it. And if you spill a little paint water accidentally, it soaks it up. Or if your cat jumps up and spills your paint water. That does happen. Not to me, because I don't have a cat, but I saw it in my Zoom open painting session the other day. Someone's cat jumped up onto her workstation, and there went the water. All right, I like the green. And as much as I said I like things to be a bit textured and messy, I don't like how messy this one is. And I think it's this messy because the fluorescent paint is really translucent. And I also used a transparent mixing white, which I assume is more translucent than a regular white. So that means I'm really showing all the strokes here. That's my theory anyway. I could be wrong. Oh, I got a little bit on there. Oh well. So I really like this project and I like the way it's turning out. And I think this makes me want to do this with other boxes. I have so many, like I save nice boxes, like iPhone boxes, for instance, and just heavy duty boxes. Things come in. It makes me want to maybe just cut windows in them and do little art pieces. And then the box becomes the frame. Yeah, I feel like this is going to need more layers, and I'm going to wait for it to dry completely to do those other layers. Let's see, what else do I want to do with this? What is that? There's a speck of something that I don't like. By the way, this outside is still tacky. Shoot. Yeah, I don't think that's a thing. I think that's a mark. Okay. There are worse things. I will have to get in there and paint more anyway. All right, so for the outside, I was debating on cutting some of this off and making it more even so that it'll look nice from the outside too, but I don't want to get it too close because it needs to be secure for that window. So I'm going to leave it as is and not worry about it. This is just an experiment anyway. Okay, that was a lot of rustling through paints. And I still didn't get the color I'm looking for. Darn it. All right, well, I don't think I have the color I thought I had. So, Ha! I'm just gonna go bold. Why not? Go bold or go home. Probably looks black on the, I think it looks black on the screen. It's actually purple. Very dark purple. I don't know. I might want a little white in this. Lighten it up a bit. Yeah, maybe not. So this was not my plan. I was going to go over the tissue paper, but I thought, well, let's go around it and see what that looks like. And so here we are so far. Yeah, we'll see how it looks when it dries. I probably will have to do another coat because you can still see the words and the everything from behind. I could have gone over this first with primer or even just heavy white paint, but I didn't want to. Didn't think of it, didn't want to necessarily. This is all an experiment. So, I've said this before. When you don't plan things out, it's just going to take you longer and you probably learn more. And I plan very little things out. I plan classes out when I'm, teaching, but for my own work, I don't really plan beforehand. I just get in there and go for it, which is kind of how I approach life for the most part, for better or worse. And I wonder if anyone out there can relate to approaching life in the same way you approach art. Do you plan everything out, including your art? And I just got some purple paint on the pink tissue paper. All right. And probably on the lime green. All right. So try not to touch the wet paint, Tabitha. Okay. Ah. All right. So there's no place on the edges that I can touch it. So let's see if we can set it down. Haha. Yeah, next time I will definitely coat it with some primer or gesso first. And that way we won't be able to see things like 6 pieces, mezcla, all these little words on here. Which, of course, I can just paint over here. All right, so here's what we've got. It's kind of interesting, but that's the back. This, oh yeah, needs more paint for sure. This is the front. So it's kind of like a night and day situation, you know? This does not necessarily look like daylight, but we've got the dark and the light, and I like that. So yeah, gonna give it another coat or two, and then, I don't know, put it in a window and see how I like it. Let's see, can we, oops, try it like this. Ah, still very wet though. All right. Put my handy dandy drying containers out and leave that sit for a little bit. It's acrylic, but so it dries quickly, but it is heavy body acrylic, so it's rather thick. So I would give that, I'll probably come back in half hour to an hour to finish it. So on that note, that's it. That is my experimental art of the day. I kind of like it. Is it an experimental in the big picture? I don't know, but it was definitely experimental for me because I've never done anything like that before. So I encourage you, person who's watching, to do something experimental with your art. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching and have fun with your art.